Hey guys, how's everyone doing? This is Nick from forexfornoobs.com with the daily analysis. Today is Thursday, the 30th of May, 2019. How the time flies. It's already the end of May, going into June. So, how are you guys doing today? It's starting a bit early. We're 1 minute early. Time is 10:59. Well, it's about to be 11 here in the UK. How's everyone doing? No one's saying anything. Just double checking everything's working here. Oh, there we go. People have started saying stuff. Hey, Steve. Right, so let's get into the analysis, guys. We're going to jump up to XAUUSD. This annoying trade. Properly annoying. I mean, it doesn't really affect me. It's not like I'm going to make some silly decisions because it's annoying, but I've never been able to master the annoyance emotion. The annoyance emotion, I've never been able to master it. I still get very annoyed at the charts and at trades sometimes, and this one is one of them. When I first took it, when I shared this trade with you guys, I think it was last Tuesday, immediately after the webinar, it didn't take too long. It started dropping down. Boom. Got to here. Just very close to my 2-hour target. And then it pulled back. And then on Wednesday, it went all the way back up here. Of course, I kept it open because it would be silly to close it. Then today, what happens? Morning, boom, starts shooting down. It gets like 2 pips away from my target, and then it pulls back up again. Yeah, annoying. Anyway, I'm going to keep this trade open, guys. I think it's fine to keep it open. It's just, you know, when your target gets missed by a few pips, it can get a little frustrating. But it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. I still think this one's headed down. I might even extend this target down, guys. I might extend it down to 2.5R, something like that. My original idea was to have the ultimate target around about down here at 2.5-ish or 2.6R. So this could change. But yeah, this one was quite close. Quite close to being hit. Just missed it. So what I'm going to do now, which I haven't done yet, but actually there is a better way of doing this. Let's just do it like that. I'm going to set an alarm just before my target. That way I get a notification when price drops back down to there, and depending on what time of day it is, depending on a few factors, I might extend that target down to 2.6, or I might not. We'll just see. Euro New Zealand, I haven't entered a trade here, but I know some of you were looking to enter a trade yesterday. I'm not sure how many of you got into the trade. It's not going that well. It's just kind of bouncing around on this support area. It's not really taken off yet. I'm not sure who's in it, if anybody. But I would just say, Riz, you were looking to get into this one. Did you get triggered in? But yeah, it's not doing much right now. But obviously, just keep it open. This still has a decent chance. New Zealand CHF, I can't remember why I had this one marked as green. I don't think anyone actually entered this. I don't know why it's marked as green. There's no actual trade on this one. There was a potential. There was a potential short trade here, but I don't think anyone entered this. Euro JPY, what were we looking at this for? Oh yeah, we're looking at I think some of you are in a continuation on this one on Euro JPY. Some of you are in a continuation, which I have not taken. Some of you were short. Is that correct? So I kept this as green just to track how you guys are doing on this trade, which doesn't seem to be going down as much as I'm sure you guys would want it to. It has dropped down a bit, but seems to be pulling back a little bit right now. So just to review the current open trades I have, XAUUSD. Oh, and I forgot, New Zealand CAD. In Tuesday's analysis, I mentioned, I talked about the New Zealand CAD trade that I was in from last week. That has since been closed out as a profitable trade. I don't have the exact numbers to hand, but it was something like this. I think I closed it out with 2.33 risk reward ratio. So wherever the entry and stop was. Anyway, I closed it out. As I was saying on Tuesday evening, we had some very important news. And I know all you members who are live in here right now, you already know this because I went over it in yesterday's webinar. But please remember, yesterday's webinar was members only. This one's a public one. This one's going to be posted to my public YouTube channel. So I'm just covering that for the people who don't have access to yesterday's webinar. So I said that I would be closing that out on Tuesday evening because we had all these New Zealand reports coming out, these big New Zealand reports. I didn't want to hold through those reports. So I did in fact close that out on Tuesday evening. I got out near the top of this move actually, because I closed out, I think it was around about 9 p.m. or something like that, 8, 9, 9:30, something like that. Not too long before this RBNZ financial stability report. So that's I've had a pretty decent week. Not many trades on the high time frames, but I did close out my New Zealand CAD, which is not bad. And this gold trade looks to be working out if it actually manages to hit my target instead of getting 1 pip away from it. Right, so that's my trades covered, the trades I've shared with you guys covered. And things are going good that way. But let's have a look at the news and see what's going on. So today we got prelim GDP for Canada at 7:15 p.m. this evening. We have Governor Council Member Wilkins speaking. I mean, I guess that could be important. Yeah, I mean, it could be. That could move the Canadian dollar. I'm not that bothered with that. Tomorrow we have manufacturing PMI out of China. You might be thinking, oh, China, that doesn't really matter much. But even if you're not trading the Chinese, whatever, yuan currency, that does affect the Aussie dollar. The Chinese reports do have a bit of an impact on the Aussie dollar. So you might want to watch out for the Aussie dollar around this time. And then we have the Canadian GDP. So all in all, news-wise, there's nothing too worrying coming out over the rest of today and tomorrow, except for maybe this Governor Council members Wilkins speaks. This is something you might want to be a bit concerned about because speeches are always a bit risky, but it sounds like this is a planned speech. The text is being released before the speech itself, so it's all been written out. I wouldn't expect there to be any major movements, but who knows? I've been surprised before by speeches. So that covers the news. Let's actually look for some new setups. AUDJPY. Why did I have this here? Oh yeah, I was talking about. Oops. Did I just delete AUDJPY? No, I don't know what I did there. I was talking about potential short if it started pushing down, but it doesn't look like it is pushing down. It looks like it's pushing up. So I'm not entering long here, guys. It's just way too messy. I was interested in a long when it first dropped down to the support area all the way back here, but now that it's been moving sideways here for over a week, I'm just almost 2 weeks. I'm just not really interested in that anymore. GPCHF. Yeah, this one's just moving sideways also. AUDCAD. AUDCAD, I'm still looking at a potential short here on AUDCAD. It stalled out on this support area, on this resistance area yesterday. And today it seems to again be stalling out. It hasn't managed to break yesterday's high. So we're seeing a massive slowdown. But I doubt that this is actually going to turn into a... actually, no, it could turn into a trade today. If we start seeing a fall here on AUDCAD today, there is potential for a bit of a short trade here. Going something like this. So I'd want to have that entry nice and wide. I don't want to enter just as it breaks below the support, the indecision candle. I want to have a bit of a wider entry on a trade like this, just because it's a bit safer. Stop loss, I'd prefer wider. Just give it a bit of breathing room. I haven't set this order, of course, because I've just really taken a look at it, but I might set this order at the end of this this analysis session. So I'm going to move this up here. I need a way to differentiate between my open trades and other trades. I'm just going to unflag these for now because I don't have these open. I'm not really sure who does have them open, if anybody. So I don't think they're worth having flagged as setups. Well, actually, I know EURJPY is open by a few people on the forum. My bad. But Euro New Zealand, I'm not sure who's open on that, if anybody. I'm looking at AUDCAD. I'm probably going to set an entry order here at 0.9326 after the end of this webinar. With a stop loss up at the 0.9381 and a target at around about the 0.9225 level. Of course, as with any trades, guys, do your own analysis, do your own risk analysis. Don't blindly enter a trade because I'm getting in. That's not how professional traders trade. Do your own analysis, decide if the trade's right for you. There are a few issues with this trade. For example, this indecision candle is forming really high in this resistance area. So ideally, when you're dealing with a reversal, what you want to see is you want to see price stalling lower in the resistance area because that's going to give you a tighter stop loss and all that kind of good stuff. But this one's forming pretty high in the resistance area. Also, the problem with things forming high in the resistance area, it indicates that this resistance area itself is not as strong as I would like it to be. It's quite weak because bulls have been able to smash through this resistance area and get to the top of it, get towards the higher end of the resistance area. So that's another bad sign. So don't think that this is an amazing trade setup just because I'm entering it. It's a decent trade setup. I'm willing to go in on it, but you know, it does have a few potential issues, and it is, I would say, a medium to high risk setup. Medium is a fairer way to say it. It's a medium risk setup. So don't just blindly jump in because I'm jumping in. Do your own analysis, decide for yourself. Righto, AUDCHF, we got that pushing up to resistance, but it's not quite there yet. So actually, I don't think we covered EURUSD. EURUSD, another bit of an important one here. Price is stalling out on top of this support area. I'm looking for a potential long here on EURUSD. This might not trigger until tomorrow. I'm watching it on the daily, preferably though. It would be taken on a bit of a smaller time frame. But let's say today's daily candle closes something like this. There is some potential on this trade to do something like that. I mean, that would require the daily candle to close exactly like this, not get any bigger, which is, you know, not exactly likely. Overall point is, EURUSD is stalling out on this support area. This is a strong support area. If we drop down to lower time frames, we can see that price is in fact in a bit of a range here. Now, the top of this range is not that well defined, but the bottom of the range certainly is. Whenever price hits the bottom of this range, it reverses quite quickly. So it's hitting the bottom of the range right now. There's potential for a long trade here on EURUSD. There's some options to enter on lower time frame if you wish. 4-hour time frame, you could have already been in this trade. You could possibly enter here on the 6-hour or the 8-hour. I'm going to be a little bit more patient and give it just a little bit more time to form and just to confirm that it's actually stalling out. I don't like to jump the gun and enter really early on these trades. So I might enter on the 12-hour, I might enter on the daily. I'm not going to enter right away on the 6-hour, which would already be triggered, or the 4-hour, which would already be triggered. At least on the 12-hour, which is actually very close to triggering. But I would at least want to see a trigger on the 12-hour. All right, so we have another potential here on the 12-hour EURUSD. Another potential setup. Exciting day. Probably going to place an order in at the end of this webinar. I'll let you guys know on the forum if I place this order in. I need to do some risk analysis for this one. This one's slightly riskier because we have a lot of mess to the left. It's a bit riskier, but I am potentially looking for a trade here. So I'm not going to set an order. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to put an order in for this trade, but it looks like it's about to trigger. So I'd rather move fast. So we'll get this webinar wrapped up quickly. That way I can do some risk analysis on this one and decide if I want to enter. So to get it wrapped up quickly, let's move on a little bit, guys. Let's look at other setups. Euro New Zealand, that we already covered. AUDCHF. CAD JPY dropped down to support and bounced away. Anyone long on CAD JPY? Not a very chatty bunch here today, guys. GBP/USD stalling out on support. I don't like this area though. Support resistance is just too tightly packed. It's a very messy area, so I'm not going to do anything here on GBP/USD. You'll notice I updated all my support resistance areas. They should be updated on the website too. And I think that is it, guys. So we don't really have that much new stuff. I took a look at all these pairs. I don't really see anything coming up. But here on EURUSD, we have a potential long. AUDCAD, we have a potential short. Gold is still open. So if you're in that one, just keep it open. I think there's a good chance it's going to push down to target. Nothing going on here. I'll unmark that one. Nothing going on here. I'll unmark that. Going to unmark this. Unmark this. And unmark that. So yeah, let's summarize, guys. There's not a huge amount of setups, but there are some pretty cool things. AUDCAD potential short. EURUSD potential long. That is it for today, guys. Are there any questions? Right, it doesn't look like there's any questions. No one's really said much today. So I think everything is pretty clear in that case. So yeah, let's wrap this one up, guys. Thank you for attending. I'll see you guys for Tuesday's webinar. But of course, to all your members, I'll see you guys on the forum before then. I'll be sharing to the forum if I'm going to enter this EURUSD trade. As soon as this webinar's done, I'm going to do some quick risk analysis and I'll let you guys know how I handle this one. So thank you for attending and I will see you on Tuesday or on the forum.